AITA for canceling our anniversary trip because my husband drowned my terrarium? I, 29F, traveled across the country to visit a company regarding an incredible job offer. I spent 2 days touring the company to decide if it would be the right fit for me after years of self-employment. After meeting with the company, I visited my sister, 32F, and her family a few towns over. We barely get to see each other because of work and distance. So it was wonderful to spend a few days with her, the family and her new baby. I was gone for a total of 8 days. When I returned home, I was excited to spend time with my husband, 33 meters, and tell him about the trip, my visit with my sister, my impression of the city, etc. We were meant to be celebrating our anniversary, and decided to put off the discussion about whether or not I should accept the job offer until after our anniversary getaway. I'd arranged for us to go on a luxury train ride because he's a big train enthusiast, and we were meant to leave for the trip 3 days after I got home. This is when the problem started. I have a very large closed bioactive terrarium which I made with my mother 15 years ago. It's one of my favorite things I have of her from before she passed. This terrarium is my pride and joy, and has come with me everywhere since we planted it. It was always super healthy and beautiful, and I've only ever had to open it 4 times to do a little maintenance and watering. My husband knows all of this, which is why I don't understand why he decided to tamper with it in my absence. I didn't notice the night I got home because I was exhausted. But the next morning, I went to check on the terrarium to find it in a terrible state. The roots were rotting and the plants dying and molding. He told me that the day I left, he poured a few cups of water into the vessel and sealed it again. I was so mad I cried, and it turned into a huge argument because it's just a plant, and all you do is look at it anyway. He called me ungrateful and overdramatic, and that I should appreciate that his intention was to help me, and that he didn't ask because he didn't want to bother me on my trip. I ended up canceling our anniversary plans, partly because I was so upset that I didn't want to go, and partly because I wanted to try and salvage the plants, and that would require time. He hit the roof when I told him and is now sleeping in a separate room and refusing to speak to me. Because according to him, I'm being petty and trying to destroy our marriage. Am I being oversensitive about my plants? My friends are pretty evenly split and have pointed out that he was just trying to be thoughtful. However misguided it was. TLDR. AITA for canceling an anniversary trip which my husband was excited for because he accidentally destroyed the terrarium I made with my late mother? NTA if you've only opened it 4 times in 15 years and have never asked him to care for it at all. It's incredibly suspicious he would do any kind of maintenance. And to do so on the day you left, when he knows how important it is and that it's a memory of your deceased mother. But he's mad at you? Not okay. Is your taking this job going to necessitate a move that he's unhappy about? Or change the balance of who the primary breadwinner is? This seems like a tantrum, followed by gaslighting. NTA. And I doubt your husband was trying to help. Firstly, if you have only opened it a few times, then he knows it doesn't get watered that often. Secondly, he knows how much it means to you, so should know that you would have taken care of it before you went, or would have left very detailed instructions. Also, how big is it? Would a few cups of water been way too much even if he was just being helpful? The "you just look at it" comment is also strange. That's what everyone does with their plants. NTA. And maybe I'm paranoid, but I don't think this was a mistake. I think hubby got annoyed that you were having such a nice trip and decided to get back at you, under the guise of helping. I just think this goes way deeper than plants. NTA. It's not just any terrarium. It's a living memory of your mother. He should have known how much it meant to you and to at least send you a message about it before taking such a risk. It's not like you were trekking in the Himalayas. You were perfectly in reach even as you were busy. All you do is look at it anyway. I don't know if it made more sense in context. But what a weird thing to say. NTA. He did it on purpose. He knows how much you loved it, and it would have taken less than a minute to text you and be like, "Do I need to water the terrarium?" Quote, I once went on a business trip to Spain and my wasp band was decluttering before I left. I told them not to touch the bag under my piano, which was my yarn collection. But all other garbage bags could go. And this bag wasn't like in front of the piano or near the piano. It was under the piano with a chair in front of it. When I returned, all the bags were still in the apartment except the one under the piano. They threw out my entire yarn collection. I had already decided I'd be leaving them. But if I had any doubts, they died that day. NTA. It's just a plant. All you do is look at it. That gives clear sabotage vibes to me. If it was an accident, he would be apologizing. He is denying that it's a big deal because he sabotaged it. This is an excellent example of passive aggression. He didn't like you going on a trip without him, or possibly moving, or visiting your sister. He did something to hurt you that he can pass off as him helping you. Is this a pattern? They are very hard to spot. I mean, his reaction makes it pretty clear he was jealous of you and lashing out. Maybe he thinks you spend too much time with the terrarium? Maybe he doesn't want to move. Maybe he's jealous of your success. I don't know, but I can tell you any good partner who genuinely and accidentally destroys a beloved item when trying to help immediately comes clean, takes blame and offers in form of reparations they can. I've had to do it myself. So now you're left with the reality that regardless of why, but we all know it was to spite you. Your husband clearly doesn't care about hurting you. New information unlocked. How are you going to proceed? It could have been in good faith, but that you just look at it anyway makes me suspect that he killed it on purpose. Has he ever complained about the space it takes up or the amount of attention you pay it? NTA. NTA. He killed your plants because he's envious of how much they mean to you. I'd consider canceling more than just the anniversary trip. NTA. Hear me out. He hates the terrarium and ruined it on purpose. NTA. The only one trying to destroy your marriage is him. He did it on purpose. If he never touches it when you're there, why would he help when you aren't home to supervise? He could have called you to ask or send you a picture to see if you thought he needed to do something. He's either mad you took a trip without him and had fun, or he's mad about the job prospect, which I'm guessing would mean moving. His actions had consequences and now he's mad at you for finding a way to hold him accountable. I hope you're able to salvage the terrarium. Holy crap. I misread the title and thought he drowned in the terrarium. I was like, WTF am I about to read? Quote, my partner once accidentally pulled the pom-pom off my hat. He was so apologetic. I told him it was okay, and I could easily sew it back on. He said he was still sorry because he knew I liked the hat, and felt bad for even temporarily damaging it. If he ever ruined something of mine to the point where I was crying about it, he would be incredibly sorry and immediately drop everything to try and make it right. Even if your husband didn't borderline destroy your terrarium on purpose. But I think he did. A good partner would feel remorseful and want to help fix what they had damaged. The fact that he's mad at you for being upset and doing nothing to try and mend things with you, that's not how a good partner should react. You are NTA. NTA. According to him, I'm being petty and trying to destroy our marriage, equals projection of his own intentions. NTA. Op, if you open to introspection, I would suggest you go through the link. Especially the comments to the original post. https www.reddit.com/r/redditonwiki/s/bmib9720k5. NTA. It just doesn't make sense that knowing it requires next to no upkeep he suddenly decides to pour water on it. I think there's more to this. AITA et al. He sure is though.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.